Hey, hello leaders, and welcome to another episode of Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the video version. So this is episode number 377, and again, it's the recording. If you haven't listened to this or watched this before, this is me recording the actual podcast. I don't edit these videos, so I will hit record. I'll record the podcast. If I make any mistakes as I'm going, I will just repeat it. So if you hear a repeat, that's it. But this is me. You get the real me. I read a scripted outline. It's not word for word, but I try to read these outlines so I keep on track because I am a squirrel chaser and you don't want me just going down rabbit trails. So here we go. I will begin you'll hear about 4 seconds of silence and then I will begin. Here we go. Hello leaders and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. Hey, I'm still sharing some tips from last week's mastermind meetup that I attended in Nashville with over 100 other guys. And today I want to talk about a topic that both keynote speakers talked about. We had our two keynote speakers were Mike Michalowicz, author of Profit First, The Pumpkin Plan, and his newest book I think is called Clockwork. And we also had Brian Moran, the author of one of my all-time favorite books, The 12-Week Year. And they both spoke, and ironically, they both talked about the same analogy when they were talking about how a little difference that you make can result in a huge impact, a huge end result, just by making a little minor tweak to the way you do things. And they used the same analogy of a plane flying from LA in the US to New York City, coast to coast here in New York City. And they said if that plane takes off in LA and sets the autopilot to go to New York, and that autopilot is off by 3 degrees, they said just that 3-degree difference is going to put that plane in Florida or up in Canada as opposed to in New York City. And then they went on to explain that, we as leaders or any kind of business, just a minor tweak and a minor difference in the way that we do things could make a huge impact to our end results. So immediately I thought about leadership and I thought, how can we lead differently to change the bottom line results? But, unfortunately, a lot of people just don't think with this different mindset because a lot of people continue to do the same things over and over and over and expect different results. And that's what Albert Einstein said was the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So no matter what industry you are in, and no matter what kind of people you are leading, if you want different results, you need to make some changes. And they don't have to be big changes. They can be small, minor adjustments. If we can figure out how to make a small tweak, we can possibly have a drastic impact on our overall productivity or our customer service or the morale in our organization, or even better yet, our bottom line revenue, or just the way our people are influenced by our leadership. So today I want to challenge you to think about what it would look like for you to make a minor adjustment somewhere in your daily routine that would make a bigger difference to your end results. What can you do differently in your leadership role that would allow you and your people to grow? As I stated earlier, every industry is different, of course. So you may have to think about this and you may have to make some trial and error adjustments. However, keep in mind, it's not about doing things bigger and better necessarily. It's about doing something different, just a small tweak here and there. It could be changing a habit, serving your customers differently, making a minor adjustment in what you expect from your people. etc., etc. It's about trying to do things differently in your industry and in a way that allows you to stand out in a positive manner. So think about the plane's autopilot being off only 3 degrees and how much of a different result it would produce. What minor tweak can you make in the way you lead your people today? Give it a shot and test it out for a couple weeks. See if it makes a positive difference. Now, I want to caution you to only make one small adjustment at a time, because if you try to make multiple adjustments, you're never going to know which adjustment produced better results and produces growth and positive growth in your people. So, hey, that's it for today. As always, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges. All right, so that is the podcast, and I will edit that down to about 3 minutes. But, I want to give you a little extra value here, because if you think about it, what can you do differently? And it doesn't matter if you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur with a small business, if you're working for a company, what can you do at your job just a little bit differently that's going to cause the results to change in a positive manner? So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, well, one thing I might be able to do is when I do cold calling, for example, I may just call people and try to figure out what their biggest pain point is. And then or I may just ask them, if I can teach you, or if I can explain to you how you can increase your communication in the next 10 seconds, will you give me 10 minutes of your time? It might be something very similar to that. That's something that I don't do now. But, when I'm doing cold calling, you have to get through the gatekeeper. So if I can convince that gatekeeper in that company that what I'm providing is valuable, chances are higher that I can get through the next caller or to the next level. And I can talk to the person that might be able to hire me to bring me in. So that's what I'm struggling with. I don't like cold calling, but I know that I can bring a lot of value to my customers and my clients. So that's what I believe in, even though I don't really like cold calling. Another thing I might be able to do is prioritize a little bit better. I might be able to, instead of doing the things that I don't like doing as a solopreneur, I might be able to subcontract it out, i.e. get somebody to make my calls for me, or do my billing and invoicing, or just the tedious work that I don't like doing. So that all might be something that I might be able to work on. But again, one little minor change at a time, and see what kind of results it produces. Hey, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this show, and come on back tomorrow for another leadership takeaway that I had from this mastermind week that I spent in Nashville last week. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges. We'll see you.